channel. This is Jawpreneur, and I'm so glad to be filming this video, and it's actually my first DIY video, and I want to show us very quickly how to put together a two ingredient translucent loose face powder, with ingredients you can get right from your kitchen. All you practically need is rice flour and corn flour. And when you're done, you just simply put into a container like this one, and you're good to go. Now, this doesn't take too much of time. Within 2 to 3 minutes, you should be done. And yeah, and you have a very, very effective, um, lightweight, and very sheer loose face powder. It's good for all skin types, but especially for oily skinned people. I am actually very oily skinned. Since I started making use of this loose powder, I can say confidently that I have no regrets. It doesn't even clog your pores. Something you could also use to touch up your makeup, your foundation on the go, and I am really, really loving this, guys. I am. Now, all you need to put this together is your mixing bowl, something to mix in. You also need to have your measuring spoons, you know, and something to mix the ingredients together with, like my spatula right here. And then, of course, you need your rice flour. This is the brand I got and have been using. I got this just from, the regular grocery store. And of course, the corn flour. Now, this is the one I've been using and loving. Yeah. Okay, so what do we do? Actually, I usually mix in the ratio of 2 to 1. That is 2 teaspoons of rice flour to 1 teaspoon of corn flour. I usually prefer making in small batches, but I guess it's left to you. If you want to make a whole lot at once, well, it depends on what you be needing it for. I personally prefer small batches. That's why I choose the ratio 2 teaspoons of corn flour to 2 teaspoons of rice flour, I beg your pardon, and 1 teaspoon of corn flour. And when you're done, this is what you should have after mixing thoroughly. It's always a good idea to have the rice flour in more quantity than the corn flour, hence the ratio 2 to 1. You could also make it in bigger batches, same ratio, but of course, maybe like probably 4 teaspoons of rice flour to 2 teaspoons of corn flour. No, just like that. It's actually left to you to determine what you want. I've also heard of people who use just one ingredient out of this, the rice flour. I've heard of people too, one ingredient, corn flour, and apply directly that way, and are okay with it. But I think I am more comfortable with the combination of rice flour and corn flour. And if I were to use a one ingredient, I guess I would settle for the rice flour. And it's one beautiful thing about the rice flour. We all have heard so much stories about rice water, rice flour. Actually, it is one natural ingredient that has been proven to have so many benefits, and above all, um, it clears blemishes from your skin with continuous use, and it's also sort of skin lightening. You know, blends out pigmentation and gives you brighter complexion. So I think rice flour, a very powerful ingredient to have in your face powder. I'm not saying the corn flour isn't. Corn flour is also another very wonderful ingredient. Yeah, but of course, you know, the rice flour has been promoted so much all over the internet. You can see so many benefits of using the rice flour and its other products from the rice grain. Yeah, so before I digress. Anyway, so this is what's going to have at the end of your mixture. And what I usually do is I share the rice flour into two containers. Um, these are really very old loose powder containers I've had for years and fortunately did not throw out. I think right now I'll say I'm glad I did not throw them out. This is a very old Mary Kay loose powder jar, and this is a Sonia brand um, mineral loose powder jar. You know, Sonia is of the Forever Living products industry. Yeah, and how do you apply? It's simple. You could use any powder brushes you have available, but for me, I usually use these. These are actually powder brushes I've had for over so many years. I usually have this tendency of buying things that I might not use for a long while. I'm glad I'm eventually putting it into good use. Now this is a bigger brush, so it's retractable. I just keep it at home with the face powder. You can see it's very sheer, light, it's nice bristles, which is very friendly with the skin. Yeah, I usually leave this particular one at home with this bigger jar, which I always leave, you know, handy on top of my dressing drawer. You know, it's a good idea to have a batch available to use at home, and one like this one, which I usually leave in my makeup, uh, my cosmetics purse in my bag, right? And then with this one, the reason you leave this in my makeup purse is because it's actually portable size, so it doesn't really, you know, take up much space in my makeup purse. And also with that, I use a smaller version of the retractable powder brush. You know, you can see it's quite portable, so it will, you know, not also take up much space in my makeup purse. It's like I said, retractable, the same idea with the bigger one, only smaller. It's soft, nice bristles too. Yeah. So this is all about, you know, my quick tutorial on the translucent loose face powder. It's something you guys need to try out, and I should say will not regret, you know, doing. It's amazing, really, guys. Very, very amazing. So if you like what you've seen so far, why don't you give my channel, my video, a thumbs up, you know, and click the like button. And if you want to see more of what I'm up to on this channel, why don't you subscribe and also click on the notification button so that you are always kept updated. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.